bro. Big A's voice a little gone from the ball game. And he's dressed like a tennis ball. Good to see you. Hello, 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 hello. Good to see you. Can we get some W's in chat for LeBron James? Okay, can we get some W's for Luke Kennard? How we feeling, bro? God damn. Luka Nard. The GOAT. The oldest player in the NBA. Kind of like how I'm the oldest person on Twitch and we're both dominating the field, crushing the competition, outclassing day in, day out. It's the comparisons are obvious. That was an awesome game. And what's crazy is you can see me and Lud and Aiden in like all the shots. It was sick, dude. I mean, I posted this one because someone sent this to me. I look so bald. Look how happy I am though, bro. By the way, Aiden, he's the type of guy that is sitting in like incredible. This is the best he's ever sat in. I've never sat this close. The best he's ever sat in. Aiden watches the screen the whole time. Aiden, the players are 3 feet away, bro. You didn't. Why even come out here if you're gonna stare at the screen? He's a zoomer, bro. It's incurable. It's honestly incurable. He's a certified zoomer. He's a screenager. Anyway, dude, I was losing it. I was losing it. I wish I could find the clip. If anyone has there's a clip where they pass it to Rui and he drains a 3, and I literally like, you can see me clear as day. I pop out, I double high five like Lud, double high five. And I'm losing it. It was great, dude. It was a really fun time. It was a really fun time. I had a great, that was one of the most fun sporting experiences I've ever been to. Nobody expected him to win that game. I was cheesing. Jacoby, thank you for the 35 months. Thank you for the 35 months. I don't know what you're asking. You want me to DM Doug something about bees? I don't know what that sounds like a Doug issue. I would hate to get involved in the endless war between Chat and Doug. I went to a baseball game with my friends on Monday and played Pokemon Go the whole time. Didn't catch anything good. My friend got a shiny Latios. So your friend also played Pokemon Go when you were at the baseball game. So you guys didn't really need to go to the baseball game, is what I'm saying. Sounds like you and your friends just want to play Pokemon Go, but you need the excuse of a baseball game to get together. Just be honest with yourselves. You want to play Pokemon Go. There's nothing wrong with that. This is the clip. Let me see. Let me see, bro. I got China's youth unemployment stat up and then me at a basketball game. What a tab combination. I don't think this is the clip, but this is probably sick. Let's see. Boom. Oh, you can see me right there. Look. I'm in the 23 jersey. Wait. I'm losing it. I'm popping off. Look, I'm spinning around. Go, white boy, go. That shit was fun. Who'd you go to the game with? Lednaden. Could have worn a hat. Oh, let it rock. If LeBron's gonna let it rock, I can let it rock. Atrioc, the fit in the lemonade stand goes dummy hard. Need more Corporatrioc. Oh, you mean this? Oh, you mean this? My Sigma grind set fit? What the hell? This is this is my scene I switched to? Oh, maybe it's a commentary. I know I'm always wearing my Sigma grind set fit, huh? Think about that. No, this is the one. Check it out. Sheesh, bro. Sheesh. How we talking? All right. Like, let me get a full screen. All right. We were going for Gordon Gecko, but that's a reference nobody gets anymore. It's a lost art. I feel like all references are dead if they're not in fucking One Piece, bro. Like people saying CoffeeZilla is like all respect to CoffeeZilla, but this is not a CoffeeZilla. This is fucking Wall Street in the 80s, bro. It's a totally different. Anyway, it's like watching the pesky Blinders. You're thinking of Peaky Blinders, and they don't dress like this at all. They dress like 1800s Birmingham. Ah! There's a cultural gap here. I need to watch more anime. I can't bridge the gap here, bro. No, you look exactly like Larry King. I think Larry King looks a little bit younger than me, but I get what you're saying. I feel like Larry King has a youthful energy, while I have more of like an old turtle appearance. But like I understand that we have a similar dress. Didn't he die? Did Larry King die? I feel like he's one of those guys that'll never die. Larry King. No, he died. Sorry, that's not appropriate, but I legitimately thought he was still alive. So that caught me off guard. I thought bro was still kicking. I thought he was still ticking. That's a Mandela effect or something. I legitimately thought Larry King was still cooking. I feel like I saw a recent clip. Isn't it crazy that Larry King had a career in journalism that spanned, I don't know, 50 years? And the only thing I can remember is that when he talked to Abed from Community, what's his name? And he said, Larry, I'm in DuckTales. And he's like, I want socks for Christmas. Danny Pooty, yeah. It's like, that is the only thing I can remember from Larry King. But I know he's been in a bunch of things. He's been in like movies where he plays himself. How are you? How are you guys doing? How's it been the past couple of days? I've been gone, so I assume, this is my guess, you all been sitting at your PCs despondent, weeping, just crying, unable to even complete daily tasks, just waiting for a drop of content, is what I assume. Otherwise, you're probably just watching Squeaks or something. But Squeaks in his Counter-Strike grind era, yuck! Even as a Squeaks fan, I'm bored, bro. I'm bored. They canceled the NL Cruise. I talked about that. I was still alive for that. I skipped only 2 days. I feel like skipped 2 days. One of them for the game, and one of them. Yesterday I would have skipped anyway because we did the podcast. By the way, I know I've been light on presentations for the mainstream, but I did 3 presentations on the podcast. I really think if you're an Atrioc viewer, you will quite enjoy the lemonade stand. Not only did we dress up, but I made 3 PowerPoints of 3, I think, really funny scams. It's not quite the Ponzi scheme iceberg just yet. I'm not saying it is. They're not even Ponzi schemes. They're just actual scams, which I think people have lost the fine art of the difference. A Ponzi scheme is a specific thing. It's a specific type of scam. Like if I don't know, if like I say, hey, give me $20 and I'll give you ice cream. And then you give me $20 and then I go, haha, idiot, no ice cream. That's not a Ponzi scheme. But a lot of you talk about like anything that's a crime and it has to do with money is a Ponzi scheme. That's not, a Ponzi scheme is a specific thing. So I made sure to pick no Ponzi schemes for my scams. Kind of like promising to run a 5K and never doing it. He actually did do it. Listen, I'll shit on Ludwig till the cows come home. I got a living story. All right, so after the Lakers game last night, we are riding fucking high. We are feeling good, and we both. Why are we mooing? Why are we mooing? Why are we? Who's what? I don't understand why we're saying cows. Oh. Is there a cure for what you have? Is there a cure? I hope scientists can one day figure it out, bro. I think you're cooked. There's no cure, bro. It's terminal. It's terminal brain rot. They were right. Those crazy bastards, they were right. You have terminal brain rot. Wait, I was talking about Ludwig's. So we both bet on the game. Just through Ludwig's fucking thing. And Lakers won. So we're feeling fucking great. We were feeling great. Everything is going. I'm so happy. And they were deeply unfavored. So it was just all in our favor. And then we go outside and we're feeling good. And I got, a little extra money now. And but the tickets, were not cheap. And so it only covered part of the cost of the tickets. So we're trying to get home. We get out, we're trying to get home. And we're feeling a little bit better because of the bet. And so it's like, all right, well, we can get they have these people that stand out in front of the stadium and they hold up a sign saying, skip the Uber, get in a car now. And it's basically like getting out of Crypto Arena. I'm still calling it Staples. Getting out of Staples is like impossible. It's like so many people getting out. There's no place to stop for a while. You can't get an Uber. Traffic is insane. There's no parking nearby. It's like a pain in the ass, okay? So there's people that stand out there and they're not, you could call them taxis, but they're not in a taxi. They're not have a yellow cab. They're basically someone that holds up a little sign and they say that and you pay them money and they're like, I parked nearby, and they go take you to their car and you can just leave instead of waiting, 30 minutes for an Uber or whatever. So we go up to one and we're haggling with him. We're like, hey, how much to get to where we're trying to go? And he goes, let me see on the map. $80 bucks. And we're like, $80? That's crazy. That's criminal. So we pull out our phone, we call Uber, and we check the price. And the price on Uber is like $35 for a comfort. And we're like, bro, it's $35 for an Uber. You're really gonna, come on, can we do like 50 max? And the dude's like, no. Guys, like, you want an Uber, call it. Like, it's 80. Like, he doesn't flinch at all. He's completely ironclad. And we're like, no, listen, buddy. We're not doing 80. Like, we're going to walk. We'll call the Uber. And he's like, fine, call the Uber. And then, so we turn away a bit. We're conversing. And I'm like, bro, we're not going to wait for this fucking Uber. Maybe we won some money. Let's just take the 80. And then Ludwig goes, no. Art of the deal. And we walk past the guy and he's like, all right, buddy. All right. And then he walks up to a taxi that's idling at a red light right there. Now the red light's about to go. Like he rolls down the window. He rolls down the window. The taxi rolls down the window. He's talking to the taxi. He's negotiating. I can't hear what's being said, but he's negotiating with him. And he pulls out his phone. He's talking to him. And then finally he turns around and he's like, get in. Because the light's about to turn. And so the door opens. I jump in. And I'm like, oh, sick, bro. How much was this? And he goes, 85. And we have to tip him. What the fuck? But you know what? To the other guy, I guess the only win there is that to the other guy, it looks like we got something done. But we didn't. We lost money. Anyway, he'll probably be president one day. Pull off some Trump style shit like that. So that was funny. That was cracking me up. Oh, and then on the way there, we were in the Uber. Okay. Listen, I think this is going to sound strange, but I think I'm a pretty good Asian guesser. You know how, like, you meet an Asian person, you're trying to guess, is there a heritage Korean or Chinese or Japanese? Or I think I'm pretty good at that. That's not racist. That's actually, it's opposite. It's like you pick up on the subtle cues, the details. Okay. It's actually, no, it's it's W, ally. W, everyone's saying W. Okay. I think I'm pretty good at it. All right. It's like, sometimes it's either accent because I lived in Korea. Anyway, I can see how starting the story that way makes you think, where's the story going? Okay, well, hear me out. 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 Okay, hear me out. We're driving there, and our driver, our Uber driver, it's me, Lud, and Aiden. We're in the car. And our driver, I believe, is Korean, but I don't know. And I'm not going to ask. I do ask one question because I'm like, how long you been in LA? And he's like, 9 years. I'm like, oh yeah, where were you at before that? Which is like the safe way to ask, just to try to check. You're just trying to wonder. And he goes, yeah, before that I was working at a restaurant. Okay. And I don't push it. That isn't, I'm not gonna push it any farther than that. Like, if that's your answer, then I'm not gonna, then you got it. All right, keep him guessing. That's a strange, but no. This is, that wasn't my first question. We were talking for a while. The guy's very funny. All right. And he's telling us all about the worst Uber driver passengers he's ever had, because he's worked for Uber for a while. And he's telling me that he had, dude, this guy's had some of the fucking, he has this woman who he pulls up to the house to pick her up. She's making out with a guy on the sidewalk. Like, they're making out. And then the guy, like, kisses her goodbye, puts her in the Uber, waves by. And then as they're driving away, like 1 minute in, the guy cancels the Uber. Like, she was obviously like a booty call or something. And he, like, the second he had her out the door, he canceled the Uber. It's diabolical. And so he's driving her, and he, like, tells the woman, like, hey, your Uber's been canceled. And she's like, what? And so she starts freaking out. This part is not her fault, but the rest of it is. She, like, loses it. So she starts freaking out, and then she starts promising him, like, okay, don't worry. I'll pay you when I get there. And he's like, well, just to be safe, could you pay me now? And she's like, yeah. Do you take Apple Pay? And he's like, I don't, but I could download the thing. And he, like, goes through it and he downloads it. And then she, like, taps it and it doesn't work. she doesn't, like, she was like fake. She's like going through the motions, but there is no payment. And it's like, wow, you did, that's okay. And then he's like, all right, well, look, if you can't pay, I can take you back to where I dropped you off. It's only a minute away. Maybe you can talk to the guy. And she's like, okay, yeah, do that. He drives her back there. And then she gets there. He's nowhere to be seen. Like, there's no one around. And she goes, I'm not getting out of the car. Take me to my destination. So they've already driven back now. She's like, I'm not getting out. So now it's like, it's a real fucking problem for him. And he has to call the police. Like, she's not leaving. He's like, I'm not gonna, he, like, opened the door to, like, invite her to get out. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, I can't do anything. He, you know, by the way, this guy, I'll just be honest, he's a pretty thick accent, you know? So it's like, kind of tough to understand him a little bit. And he is probably having trouble communicating. You know, this is a story from a little bit back. So he's like, all right, I gotta call the police. So he calls the police, and he is talking to them, but, like, the LAPD, bro, like, the first thing they're gonna do is put you on hold, and then there's, like, a process. You know, it's like a whole thing. And also he has an accent, so it's, like, tough for him to get his get his point across, like, what's going on. And so he's realizing that, like, this process is gonna take forever. Like, he's calling them, and they're not understanding what he's saying, and they're, like, putting him on hold, and it's all a thing. So he kind of just, this is a story, he kind of just fakes that it's working. He's like, okay, yeah, all right, they're coming. And then she's scared enough that she gets out of the car. She gets out of the car. And then he hangs up the phone. But he's outside of the car, by the way, when she's talking. And she gets out of the car and tries to yell into the phone. She's like yelling into the phone. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's lying. He's lying. While he's talking. He's on hold. They're not even like listening, but like he's pretending, and she got out of the car. So he's like, okay, I got her out of the car. So when she's out, he locks the door, okay, with his car keys, and now it's like she can't get in. And then he walks around to the front to just get in on his own. And he's outplayed her. But then he says, and he goes like this, he goes, oh. And he takes his hand off the wheel while he's driving. It's like, I hit the wrong button on my car keys to try and unlock it, and I unlock everything. And so she opens it up and gets right back in. So this process keeps going, and now he's like really frustrated. So then he has to pretend that a second phone call is coming, okay? And it's like them following up. So he gets out of the car to do it again. He gets out of the car and he's like talking, and then she, getting nervous, gets out of the car again to yell, and this time he nails it. He runs it back one more time. This time he nails it. He gets the lock, walks around, unlocks, gets in, goes out, and gets out. Like W run back. It's like an NPC interaction. I don't understand. Anyway, so while I do feel bad for this woman for apparently having a guy promise to get her an Uber home and then canceling it immediately, which is just diabolical, she is crazy. He had stories about two drunk guys in the back, and they threw up in his car, and he's like, hey, you want me to stop and pull over so you can get out and throw up outside? Just so it's not in the car, and then I'll wait and take you taking the ride. And they go, no. And then he's like, well, I'd appreciate it if you did it. And they're like, all right, we're going to fight you. So anyway, being an Uber driver in LA, if you're driving past like 1 a.m., it's going to be always bad. It's always going to be bad, bro. You're going to get some. But okay, here's the point of the story. Here's the point of the story. Here's where we're getting to the point. Okay. Near the, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I told the story one part of it wrong. One part of it wrong is that while the woman is still in the car before the police stuff, when she's still in the car and won't leave, she's like, yeah, I'll leave if you just give me back my phone. And he's like, what? And she's pointing to his new iPhone, which is at the front of his car where he's running the maps. And she's like, if you just give me back my phone, I'll leave. And he's like, this is not your phone. And she's like, yeah, it's my phone. I don't use my phone. If you give my phone back, then I'll leave. And he is like, if you can't even unlock it, it's not your phone. And she's like, I don't know why I can't unlock it, but maybe you tricked me. Maybe you changed it, but it's my phone. Okay? Anyways, that's part of the story. That's an important part of the story. So at this point, he's told us all these stories, and we're laughing, we're having a good time. And we're getting to crypto arena. We're about to get out. And as we pull up to get out, I go, hey, one thing before we get out, can you just give back my phone? And I point to the phone because I think it's fun. I think it's so funny. I think it's like a fire, it's like a callback to the first story he told. And, and he goes dead silent. He goes, he's been in a good mood. He goes dead silent. And he looks, and like me and Aiden and Ludwig are all staring, and I go, just my phone, please. And then he's dead silent. Nothing's hitting. And then I go, I break. I instantly break because I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to offend you. I go, hey, I'm joking. And then his eyes light up like fucking Christmas. And I promise you could ask Aiden or Lud. He laughed so fucking loud. He was like roaring. He was like, it was a great scene. Thankfully, maybe he was just, but But I think he was like worried it was happening again because there's a bit of a language barrier. Yeah, it's probably a laughable relief. Anyway, that is why you're not watching the debate. There's a debate. What debate? That was a funny little event. That was a funny little event. What else happened at the event? I mean, it was just a good time, bro. It was just a good time. The California governor debate. Who's winning? Check California governor debate. Bro, I'm so not interested in debates. I'll watch the presidential ones. The thing about debates is it's always have you seen this chart? I don't know if anyone has it. Let me see if I can find it. There's like yeah, here. This is not the chart I'm thinking of, but it's close enough. In my lifetime, I've seen this just plummet. This is like speech complexity of US presidents. And it's just fallen like horrendously. There's a better chart that's and when you watch these debates, like everyone's just trying to get their bite-sized fucking statement. You know what it's not nobody's having a real discussion. And a real debate would require like agreeing on facts and then, no one is agreeing with each other on anything. There's no common ground. They're just clip farming. Every question is like a launching pad for a soundbite. It's not like a good. Can't really blame the presidency. I don't blame. Well, it's a response to what voters want. Unfortunately, like voters like say they want something serious, but if they watch something serious, they would tune the fuck out. Boring. And honestly, they're not watching it either. The whole point is to farm a clip that goes viral on social media, and the clip sums up your campaign. That's like the point now. I blame JFK mogging Nixon on camera. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? You're born to mog. Like, what you get out there, you get mogged, bro. I don't know. That was also, by the way, JFK obviously pretty good at mogging people, but Nixon, he had like flop sweat, an ill-fitting suit, bad tie, looked like like it wouldn't be hard to mog him. All right, let me get 1 second. Nixon would have been a good president if he wasn't such a horrible guy. That's such a funny thing to say. But like if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. Like what? Yeah, bro. You've just changed the fucking Have you seen the newsroom debate clip? That would be fire, though.
Questions have to be tough.
Dude, the newsroom is a silly show, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. The newsroom, if you watch this show as it aired, not only is it like so melodramatic about things that when you zoom out didn't matter, but it's also like the real subtext of this moment is that this form of journalism is in rapid decline and dying. But this show treats it like it's like sacrosanct to the American people. And if that they get this story right, it'll change the course of history. Whereas the reality is people were tuning out en masse and it has less and less influence than ever before. So it was just like not so relevant. But they told that pilot the news. Yeah, true. Hello, longtime YouTube viewer. Why does this have things all over it? What is this effect? Wait, how do you see this? Is this a new product? It's a paid effect. What did he pay? It has an animation all over it. Pay to win? But am I getting a piece of this or is Twitch? RTE. Hello, longtime YouTube viewer, first time Twitch. I'm about to graduate med school and start as a junior doctor in Australia. I'm very grateful for my parents, oh my God, typers, who support my rent while I go through residency. Okay? That means at the start, I will have 20K Australian dollars, didgeridoos, in savings annually that I'll invest in something with the goal of capital preservation rather than aggressive returns. Wait, did you go through all of this to ask me like to be your financial manager? Bro, I'm not going to decide whether your money goes in a fucking high interest savings account, a voluntary super, or a conservative ETF. That is not my role as your streamer. Bro, that depends on your fucking risk profile, your income, your age. Come on, bro. Please don't ask me to do that. That's a job for somebody. You've denied someone a job. I'm here to tell you that you need to put it into something that's going to 100x. And that if you're trying to do the conservative safe thing and put your money into low risk index funds, you will lose, okay? You have to make real big money real fucking quick. Pokemon cards. You need to be scalped. Always be scalping. ABS. Did you see Hera sucking at Warcraft 3? I have no idea how he's into it. It's like a relatively similar game. He doesn't suck at all. He does not suck at all. He's incredible for the amount of time he has in. One of the world's best for the amount of games he has ever. The speed with which he's absorbing knowledge is absurd. He's still worse than me, but he'll pass me by Sunday probably. If I had to guess. If I had to guess, it would be past me by Sunday. By the way, I need to talk about this. I dropped out. I don't know if you actually I didn't even announce it on stream, but I was going to do the Warcraft tournament. I dropped out. I'm not doing it. I was in it temporarily for one day. I played 30 games in a day. I fucked up my sleep. I was downloading replays to try and study. And then I looked at Hera. He'd already played more games than me that day. And then I was like, well, I still have an advantage because I've got some knowledge from back in the day. Maybe that'll help me out. But then Grubby messaged me and he goes, hey, you're too experienced. You have to play a different race. You can't play Night Elf. And so I tried to play one game of Custom Human and I didn't know anything. And I was like, bro, I gotta just, and it was a lot for me. By the way, I forgot I had already signed up to do a Magic the Gathering streamer event. I have to fly to Las Vegas in the next few days. I got too much, bro. So I stepped back, but I told Grubby, super thank you for the invite. I'm gonna help him find somebody else. I suggested Stans. I don't think Stans can do it. I suggested Pobelter. He might be able to do it. So I'm gonna try and find some people. I'm helping out. Maybe Squeaks, but I think he's doing Counter-Strike. But I'm super excited to watch it. I think Hera versus Tyler will be awesome. You play Magic? Oh yeah. My wife and I both really like Magic. Steako Head, 2 years now. Thanks for the great times, bro. What a nice message. 24 months, 2 years. Thanks for the great times. Appreciate it. What a kind message. Thank you very much. And banned. Wait, these paid messages are so distracting. This is so like they dominate the screen. When I'm looking at chat, it's like impossible to. It's a true pay to win, bro. Show us. You guys can't see them in your chat, or only I can see them. Angry Mom, thank you for the 22 months. Rabito Futo, thank you for the 26 months. We have our state election today and on the 29th. All parties and candidates are genuinely so horrendously unelectable that I can't make a decision. It's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. So one of them, just know this, one of them will get elected. So you gotta, one of them will get elected and it can always get worse. Those are two things you gotta know, bro. You gotta, at the moment of the election, you gotta decide. Thoughts on Tim Cook quitting? Is he leaving the new CEO with a dumpster fire? We can talk about Tim Cook quitting. Is Tim cooked? Tim Cook of Apple is stepping down after 15 years as CEO. Holy. He has been remarkably successful. I want to show you something. Let me show you something. Apple. A lot of people give Steve Jobs all of the credit for Apple. And he did. I even give him the majority because he turned the company around. But 2011 in August, this is when Steve Jobs handed the reins over to Tim Cook. Like, Tim Cook has truly grown this company massively. He's built out the world's greatest supply chain. He made it so I believe Apple products haven't had a recall in his entire tenure. They're made with high quality materials. They come out every year, all like clockwork. He's built something impressive, and for the most of his time there, Apple was the most valuable company on earth. It has recently been passed by NVIDIA and Microsoft briefly. It might be flip-flopping. We can check right now. Oh, Google too. Wow, Google. It's the AI winners. But still, $4 trillion company. Again, for most of his tenure, this is the #1 company in the world. And if you are a believer that the AI bubble is a little bit overvalued, probably still the most valuable company on the earth in the world because they have a ton of cash. They make real hardcore profit. They basically, make a phone and sell it at like a massive markup. And it's the most, it's like, I've heard it described as the iPhone is like the margins of selling a Ferrari, but the amount of selling Toyotas. It's like a mass market product with the margin of a luxury product, and it's the greatest product ever. I mean, in terms of, I don't use an iPhone, but in terms of business, it's like the most successful business product probably of all time. And then once you have it, you're locked into the fucking AirPods and the watch and the entire ecosystem and the App Store. They get 30% on the whole thing. It's just a money generating machine. And so a lot of that is his effort. He's done a really good job with that. He hasn't innovated much. That's the big criticism of Tim Cook, is that during his tenure, the biggest new product was like what? AirPods? That's like the biggest new product, but obviously he's had a couple truly incredible successes. Can you guys even imagine what the world was like before the Apple Vision Pro? I struggle to remember. It's changed the world so much. It's been such an important piece. Made something bigger than Nike. As I've said in recent weeks, the metaphor that if AirPods was his own company, it'd be bigger than Nike is no longer fun to say because Nike has fallen off so hard that's not even a big deal. If Tim Cook's fucking belt was his own company, it'd be bigger than Nike. Nike is in a massive free fall. So I wouldn't even bring that up anymore. Nike used to be a bigger deal. Maybe when Nike pivots to AI data centers. Anyway, so Tim Cook is replacing his role with John Ternus, who comes from the hardware side of Apple. He's like the executive VP of hardware development, I believe. I don't know exactly where he is, but that's where he is. So that's generally a good idea. It's better than like the Boeing model, right? Where they throw up somebody from marketing, marketing or finance. Those people generally have a better chance of gutting the company. Okay? And so John Ternus seems like a decent choice, but he is left with two major challenges. And they are as follows. Number one, are we at the end of number one? Is the phone fading out? I'm just going to put phone. Okay? Are we at the end of the phone era? Obviously not this year or even the next 5 years, but like, is it the beginning of like voice-based devices or other types of things other than the phone being the most dominant thing in all of tech? Maybe not. Certainly Apple doesn't think so. But there is an idea that they're a little bit behind on new hardware. For example, there's a thought that a major cut-in to consumer electronics will be people's cars. As cars get more advanced, they're going to have more and more stuff in them. They're going to have more and more UI, and if self-driving gets better. And so all the phone companies in China, for example, are making cars. Xiaomi's making a car. Huawei's making a car. Not even making. They have cars right now that you can buy, and they're really good. Apple was making a car, kind of seeing the way that was going. You know, if you flash forward, let's say 5 years or whatever, if self-driving is a much bigger deal, people are going to spend a lot more time in their cars, and cars become consumer electronics staples instead of just about the horsepower. Apple canceled their car. They couldn't get one built. So it's a big thing where, like, is this hardware guy going to jump on that? Is he thinking about that? Or are they literally going to just try and do new iPhone, new iPad, new iWatch every year till they die? Like, are they going to disrupt the paradigm that has worked for the past decade plus of Tim Cook? That's the big question, number one. Question number two is, Tim Cook, unlike every single other major tech company, ignored AI. Oh, thanks, babe. Well, very spicy, huh? Yeah. He ignored it. He sidestepped it. They really didn't develop their own good AI product, and so they ended up outsourcing to, first it was OpenAI, now it's Gemini, and they're behind the curve massively on AI. They haven't built out any unique model. They haven't built out data centers. They're not doing that kind of thing. And so if they're right, and they can just wait and buy up somebody later or clean up the ashes after things get, then it's incredible. But if they're wrong, then they're like immeasurably behind. They're going to end up being IBM to Google or to Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? That's the big question. So I was talking with Aiden about this on the Lemonade Stand, and he did bring up a good comparison that I think is worth talking about. And that is Bob Iger. So Bob Iger was and is the CEO of Disney. And Bob Iger left at the peak. He left at a great time. And Tim Cook's kind of leaving at the peak. If Tim Cook retires now, which he's about to do, he's an incredible CEO. He's done an incredible job. His name is unimpeachable. But he's left some bubbling problems under the surface that he hasn't addressed. It's the next guy's problem. If the next guy fumbles that and Tim Cook tries to come back, my advice is don't. Don't do it, bro. Don't pull a Bob Iger, because Bob Iger torched his reputation by coming back. Bob Iger came back. He couldn't fix any of the problems he kicked to the next guy. Disney is stagnated, flatlined. The Disney Plus dream is dead. And he went from being like this GOAT CEO to being like, oh, he's just kind of lucky with the timing. So I don't know if Tim Cook's going to do that, but Tim Cook is leaving with some problems under the surface. If they go right, then it's all good. If they go wrong, though, there's some pressure for him to get back. What if they rename Disney to Glizney? Okay, let's table that one. That's a really interesting idea. Isn't Tim Cook still going to be in the picture in the chairman? Yes, he is, 100%. Tim Cook is still in the picture, but you're a CEO. You are setting the tone. It's your company now, your direction. In fact, the more Tim Cook hangs around as chairman, historically, the worse it is for the new CEO to get anything done. It becomes this weird thing where you kind of have to run it through the Tim. They're hanging on, but they're not quite in the door. They don't know what's going on, boots on the ground, but it's not a good idea. So he should kind of like back up as much as he can and let the new guy do the best he can. Like a disappointed mom. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I think the one interesting part that we didn't mention is that fucking Trump tweeted or truthed an absolutely insane level of glaze. He went insanely hard glazing this guy. Where's the fucking truth, dude?
Giant.
Does anyone have the link? It's so hard to find things on True Social because there's 400 ads for like the real American Bible and shit. Understand the Bible like never before. Dude, look how fucking long Trump's posts are getting. Who the fuck does he expect to click this and read? Jesus Christ. Bro is writing fucking novels. No, I can't find it because he's community letter from Tim to the Apple community. I think that's so cringe. I hate calling it a community, bro. People that buy your phones are not part of a community. It's a fucking disgrace to the word community. In every one of these emails, I feel the beating heart of our shared humanity. Tim Cook, you know what? I'll give it to him. He's the last of a dying breed. In like the 2014, 15, 16 era, all tech CEOs were like kind of woke. And they kind of always talked about a better world and climate change. And that was like a big thing for tech CEOs. Now you see like the Palantir CEO talking about how like we need to give everybody a gun because the revolution's coming and we're going to be putting the permanent underclass to work in factories. It's like, it's just changed. And Tim Cook still kind of does things this 68-year-old CEO still does it the old fashioned way, bro. Tim Cook still puts up a fucking flag for pride. You know what I'm saying? He still says we're all part of a community with our shared humanity, even though he's just selling you a phone. He's just taking a phone, making it in China, marking it up, and then locking you into an ecosystem where he can charge 30% tax on every digital thing you use. That's what he's doing. Let's see. John Turnus, a brilliant engineer and thinker who spent the last 25 years building the Apple products our users love so much. Obsessed with every detail, focused on every possible way he can make something better, bolder, and more meaningful. He's the perfect for the job. All right, well, nice to say. Nice to say. He has done a good job. I mentioned this on Stan too. I'm kind of aping the Stan Patreon, but it's only one small part of it. So, I will say one thing I said was, one thing I've always liked about Tim Cook, even though he is a very wealthy man, he makes less money as the CEO of the most valuable company in the world for most of his time than someone like David fucking Zaslav. And it's always felt good to be like, it's like a perfect example of like, no matter what metric you use, these fucks are overpaid. Because you could always point to any one of these horrible dog shit CEOs who a lot of them make more than Tim Cook and be like, there is no way you deserve that because at least Tim Cook built the most valuable company on earth. If you're getting paid more than them and you think you deserve that in any way, you're fucking lying. You've scammed the company out of it. If Tim Cook can do it for less than you can do it for less. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. But I don't have much more to say about it. We'll have to see how the guy does. I think Tim Cook has left him, a couple problems, but a lot of good things. And if he's right, if Apple as a whole is right that AI is not a good investment yet, if it's not, if they can wait, if they can come in later, then he was genius. Then he's actually going to be the genius because the CapEx implosion from the other Mag 7 is going to leave Apple as the undisputed fucking flush with cash king. They're going to be able to buy up everything they want at pennies on the dollar. Like, if he's right. If he's wrong, you don't know. But if they're right, it's the move of the decade. Anyway, now it's probably more. Do you think Steve could have done the same? It's too far removed. I don't know what Steve Jobs would have. I think Steve Jobs would have been all in on AI. He was the type of guy that talked about shit like that. Oh, you mean like could have done the same as Tim Cook? No, I don't think so. I think Tim Cook was a better CEO than Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs was like a better, you can call it founder, whatever, founder energy. Like you need the new products that Apple created that Steve Jobs was responsible for pushing along. But after that, you kind of want Tim Cook. But in terms of like getting the company to run cleanly and efficiently, you know what? It's also crazy about Tim Cook. Last thing I'll say, I think, is that Tim Cook is probably the most incredible. It's not negotiator. What am I thinking of? Like diplomat. Tim Cook was friends with Obama and Trump and Xi Jinping at the same time. Nobody is on his bad side. He's somehow the one company on earth able to do heavy business in China and heavy business in America and be strategically important and not get in trouble. It's kind of crazy. He has skirted so many lines and loopholes, and he's balanced egos. It's wild. Nvidia can't sell chips in China, bro. That's the perfect example of my point. Nvidia is in a constant battle between the US and China. It's a huge risk for them. Apple has navigated it. It's crazy. Maybe he was just giving Trump a gold iPhone. Maybe he knows what he's doing. Was he friends with Epstein? No. As far as I know, Tim Cook has no sexual scandals either. So what a bonus. What a bonus. Plus, he's gay, so he gets a 1 point in the woke column. He gets the automatic. It's the easiest one, okay, for Silicon Valley, but he does do it. Gay dudes are great at giving gifts. Let's not make this a gay thing. I'm not sure Tim Cook, because he's gay, was able to figure out that Trump wants a gold iPhone. I think a straight person could have figured that out. I think that's honestly the default thing. I think for Donald Trump, you just got to figure out, what do I have? Can I plate it in gold? So no presentation today? You're banned, bro. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off, bro. We're vibing. My God. What a fucking piece of shit. Okay. Guys, I'm very hungry and I have a main chick here. Can we watch something real quick? And then I got more to talk about, but I would like to watch something. Did you see Virginia redistricting got blocked by a judge? Yeah, the whole redistricting thing is kind of just sad to me. I understand why states are doing it, and I'm hopeful that it helps counterbalance what's going on in fucking Texas and Florida. But when you think about it, it's like this horrible race to the bottom where all of our country gets more gerrymandered, more gridlocked, more subversive of the democratic process in a race to the bottom between two parties that fucking hate each other and can't get anything done. It's like not good, and I don't like talking about it too much. It just makes me sad. But I am just listen. I always say, it's fucking triage, bro. I'm on a step-by-step process. I have to live in this country. I want to raise a kid in this country. I'm step-by-step. And so step one, win the midterms, neuter Trump, maybe literally. Ideally push for impeachment, but at the very least neuter his power, and we're moving forward. I'm trying to like step by step. If we try to ask for the world right now, nothing's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get fucking depressed. I'm gonna be okay. Just go to Sweden with Aiden. So here's the thing. I genuinely believe this. Euro frogs. I think almost every problem that is hitting America is just time delay hitting Europe. I genuinely believe this. And so I don't think it's like a massive, I feel like people talk like, oh, everything's great. It's all figured out. And I think, no, it's like I actually think, if anything, I truly believe this too. I think Trump may have bought Europe a few more years because he is so bad that they can look at that and it weakens their parties. It weakens their like populist right-wing parties. Like they have been weakened in the polls because of Trump. But I don't think it's going away because the problem is honestly the fiscal situation, the demographic situation and the fiscal situation. And by that, I mean, there's a very aging population that all has pensions from the government that are all very, very expensive. The governments of Europe, most of them cannot afford it and also are trying to remilitarize at the same time, which is too expensive. And so there's cuts to public services coming. There's inflation coming. These are all things that like cause populist unrest. And when that happens, combined with the ease of pointing to immigration as the problem, usually these surging right-wing parties gain a lot of power. And I don't see a difference happening in Europe. I think actually it's happening right now. And that's what's happening. And then at the same time, they're also getting hit with a lot of other things that are possibly unique to Europe, which is like AI technology is upending society in a way, possibly causing job loss. But what's worse is there's not even any major AI companies in Europe. So they're not even, it's like they're kind of at the mercy of US, China, but there's like problems. They have solutions too. By the way, I didn't mention this either, but one thing I took away from my trip to China is that I gave Europe more flowers. Because I went to China, I was very impressed with a lot of things. Other things I was like, not so good about. And now that I've traveled essentially the world, I've been around the world, I'm like, bro, cities like Stockholm, cities like, I'm trying to think about, Oslo, like they've done a really hard thing. They've done something like really incredible and they're kind of world-class. Copenhagen, like these are really good. They're kind of beating everyone right now. They're in the lead. And so that they've done something well. Um, this video is about Gen Z and movies. I'm not watching that. Copenhagen people when Seethenhaveners walk in. They shake hands probably. Because Cope and Seed goes together. Dude. I can't. This is like the line for me. Gen Z watching full length Minecraft movies is the line. I feel like I could make it through a lot of things. There's a lot of cultural gaps I can bridge. But I tried watching, it was like this one. I tried watching Parkour Civ, and that was peak.
Run.
That was perfect. I tried watching this, dude. Just the beginning of this. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's a line for me, and I'm sure it's peak. I'm sure if you love Minecraft, it's peak. But this is crazy. It's a cultural line. I can't imagine wanting to watch 2 hours of this. I can't imagine it. And so maybe it's just for someone else. Even the, but it's fascinating. I'll say it's fascinating because even the way they tell the story is like, I don't know. It's like through the POV of someone who's a very online Minecraft player. I don't know. It's not entirely in the world of Minecraft. It's crazy. Anyway, it's very relatable to them, I'm sure, and I'm quite sure that the Oscars in 20 years are going to be filled with those. Okay, I'm quite sure Scorsese's going to be looked back on as a fool for not directing in Minecraft. Kid with frizz, think of the 21 months. Okay, let's watch something. Interesting history video.
I know it might.
About a coup. Okay. Could basically do that, maybe. There's a how money works, maybe. I'm looking for something like, I want something. I would be interested in a history video. Honestly, a history video. Knew how money works. 50% of AI data have been quietly canceled or delayed. Bro, we already didn't. What? Atrioc, I'm an engineer. Hold up. Is this in here? Here, put your videos in. I feel like this is just the. Oh, it was in the Alders video, right? I think I'm smoking weed. I think I'm smoking weed. I think I'm smoking weed. I think I'm toking that fucking loud. Do you guys want some of this weed that I'm smoking? Do you guys want to chief this blunt that I'm talking about? Or is that not up your alley? Have you seen the... Pass it? Okay. But I smoked that loud as I recalled, so, you know, be ready. All right. Man, I can't. I thought. You know, whatever. I'm totally off the, whatever. Get back to this. Okay. Let's see. Scientology speedrun? No. Let's go to GSS. And let's put in my name. And let's see what you guys got. The worst doping excuses in sport? Drugs splashed on my shorts. That could have happened. The most powerful pirate in history? The Pirate Queen? I think he doesn't want reacts. Kurzgesagt. The Vampire Diaries 2.5 hours video. How Mr. Krabs turned a generation against capitalism. Mr. Krabs' Soviet propaganda. I hacked MKBHD's locked phone. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. These cereal mascots were gay, by the way. They were gay? Were they or weren't they? Why is there a question mark? That's brave, I guess. Oh, search party. Wait, this looks great. Ghost chips. Ghost chips. Search party's pretty good, and I'm interested. Also, I want to know more about this because, like I said, I've been monitoring the situation, monitoring the public ships through the straits, and they haven't gone through the blockade. But I heard that the Ghost Fleet, the Shadow Fleet, has been going through the strait. A ton of them have gone through the blockade. So I'm trying to get a better picture.
This is a map of the Strait of Hormuz on February 28th, 2026. It shows hundreds of ships passing through right before the US and Israel attacked Iran. And Iran attacked ships. By the next day, no ship risked going through the strait, except for an odd few. The Hilda 1 turned off its location responder, then reappeared on the other side. The Kuma followed, flying what the EU says is a fake Guyanese flag. Then the Skywave switched.
You gotta respect the balls on the guy on the Hilda. You gotta respect it. The first guy to be like, fuck this is good. He could just tell this war was gonna last a while. He's like, I'm not getting stuck in here for the next fucking months to years, bro. I'm going for it. I'm gonna run it day one. I got shit to do. I'm gonna make some bank. He went beast mode. Now I respect this shit.
Flying what the EU says is a fake Guyanese flag. Then the Skywave switched its flag from Comoros to Botswana before crossing. Their strange behavior isn't random. It's the signature of a strategy that has helped Iran, Russia, and other regimes survive the West's attempts to shut them out of the world economy. Some call it the Dark Fleet, or the Ghost Fleet. Most call it
Shadow Fleet.
Shadow Fleet.
Shadow Fleet.
A growing shadow fleet is causing concern.
Sailing without a valid flag.
To evade Western sanctions.
To smuggle oil as well as sometimes weapons.
While some are suspected of acts of sabotage.
the Shadow Fleet is not a unified group. It's a loose collection of aging and fraudulent ships, secretly ferrying sanctioned oil around the world. But despite every attempt by the West to stop it, the Shadow Fleet keeps growing. And now it's out in the open.
The Dark Fleet is the lifeblood of these regimes. It's shown bad actors how easy it is to keep trade flowing.
So what makes the Shadow Fleet so effective? And how is it taking advantage of all the chaos in the Middle East?
I'll pause. The reason the Shadow Fleet is so effective is because every country in the world wants fucking oil and they don't care. They want the cheapest oil they can get. It's like trying to ban oil tankers from sailing from one country to another regardless of whatever sanction you put on it. It's like trying to say, let's make drugs illegal. That'll solve the problem. Like, it's an endless amount. The demand is so absurdly high. You know what I'm saying? It's like, of course, they all want oil. The hunger for oil is so massive that if you have it, you can't stop it. It will find a way. You know, or like prohibition of alcohol. Exactly.
Tens of thousands of ships carry goods all around the world every single day. And most operate within a system that relies a lot on trust. A ship is trusted when it can show more or less three things. First, what I'll casually call paperwork, proof of legitimate ownership, management, and insurance. Second, a flag, showing it's registered and overseen by a country. And third, a so-called AIS transponder, which broadcasts where it is and where it says it's going. Because ships with all three are far more likely to be accepted by most major ports, every country's economy depends on them. Economic sanctions exploit that dependence. In the 2000s, the UN sanctioned North Korea for testing a nuclear weapon, and the US and EU sanctioned Iran for trying to make one. Sanctions led major ports to block ships flagged by North Korea and Iran, or whose transponders showed they'd been there. Sanctions also blocked them from getting legit.
I wonder if they just changed the flag. I wonder if they just change the flag, fake the transponder, and sell the same shit that everyone wants.
Paperwork. Without trusted ships, North Korea and Iran's economies suffered. But neither gave in because buyers in some countries, like China, were still willing to do business, as long as they could plausibly deny it. So North Korean ships began turning off their transponders before entering Chinese ports, or out to sea to transfer their cargo to another ship.
Yeah, the ship transfers.
They also began switching their North Korean flags to so-called flags of convenience.
That's meant going to flags like Cameroon, Cook Islands, Gabon, finding flag states that operate privately and don't have much scrutiny or technical
It's so funny to be like, wow, Gabon sure is sending us millions of barrels of oil. I don't know where this tiny nation got it, but damn, they must have struck it rich.
site.
Michelle Wise-Bachmann is a maritime intelligence analyst. She explained that getting false paperwork was pretty easy too.
I've tracked down the so-called registered owners to a carpet mall in Dubai and a shopping mall in Mumbai, a pharmacy in Moldova. All of these extremely subterfuge activities, they've all happened because there were chinks in the regulation.
These were the first shadow vessels.
Weird
Soon
cut.
Iran was using the same tricks to hide its
You paused that early, that woman. That woman tells a way different story. She got a Paula Deen moment.
oil tankers, and cleverly adding more.
They would get a really old clunky ship and they would send it to a shipyard that wouldn't ask too many questions, of course. Then the old tanker would become a new tanker without the taint of sanctions.
By the late 2010s, the shadow fleet consisted of a few dozen vessels, mostly exporting Iranian oil to China. When Venezuela was hit with US sanctions, it added ships. Then a few stateless ships joined too. Crews developed more tricks like spoofing their locations and changing flags, names, even paint colors mid-journey.
That's
While
beast.
shadow vessels make themselves very
Wait,
hard to
that's
find,
beast.
they do occasionally
Changing the paint colors, like, you don't even have to do that, bro. That's for the love of the game. No one's checking that hard, bro. That's fucking...
spoofing their locations and changing flags,
That's like GTA.
names, even paint colors mid-journey. While shadow vessels make themselves very hard to find, they do occasionally turn on their transponders.
Yeah, that's like Lord of War,
which
dude. That's the Lord of War scene. That's a great scene. We should watch that scene after that.
allows analysts like Michelle to find
Wait, who's got the Lord of War scene, bro? I gotta watch. I gotta watch that in the middle here. The Lord of War scene is so beast. It's only 5 minutes.
But that's another story. I also packed 6 different briefcases, depending on who I was that day.
Underneath the potatoes. But it's cinema, dude. It's a great movie. So I assume that's what the Shadow Fleet is doing, but with oil. Okay, they're hiding it under bags of potatoes, and Ethan Hawke is going aboard and constantly being confused by these Iranian ships with different flags. I assume that's where we're at.
Investigate and label them. In a report by Vortexa, the Shadow Fleet included around 200 vessels in early 2022. But just 1 year later, it jumped to over 1,000.
Sheesh.
Most belong to Russia. After invading Ukraine, Vladimir Putin's regime was hit with US and EU sanctions. So it bought hundreds of aging tankers and ran the Shadow Fleet playbook to keep its oil moving.
Nope, we sanctioned them and then they fell out of the global economy. Instant loss. There's nothing they could do. They had oil, but no one to sell it to.
Mostly to buyers in China and India. Then it used the revenue to fund its war. By late 2025, this growing Shadow Fleet was carrying around 11.
The greatest thing we did to hurt Russia's income was pump a lot of oil out of the fucking Permian Basin in Texas and get oil prices cheap. And the worst thing we did for Russia's income, the best thing we did for help Russia's income is fucking start a stupid war in Iran that closed the Strait of Hormuz and doubled oil prices. That has made Russia hundreds of millions more dollars per day the entire length of this war. The sanctions are not nothing, but they're so overrated in terms of what for oil countries.
Percent of the world's seaborne oil, allowing these states to survive sanctions. And even though European countries could see it sailing by, there was very little they could do.
All ships have what's called the right of innocent passage under the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Seas, which has allowed, especially in the case of Russia,
We have innocent until proven guilty, but for boats. That's kind of beast. That's kind of beast.
Dark Fleet vessels, for them to go through the coastal waters, the English Channel, Danish Straits, etc., to load Russian oil.
The Shadow Fleet looked untouchable, which made it not just an effective economic tool, but also an effective weapon.
The secondary sanctions? No, dude. They get around those too. Fucking European shit that couldn't be sold to Russia, guess what? It all gets sent to Kazakhstan. So suddenly Kazakhstan's importing a whole fuck ton of computer chips and washing machines and cars that they weren't importing before. It's like people don't think of the second order effect. The demand is still there.
Right now, Donald Trump is threatening to pull the U.S. out of NATO because other countries aren't helping him in Iran. Now, what's interesting is how different outlets are covering it. This level of insight is only possible thanks to the sponsor of this week's episode. That's Ground News. Ground News is the only one.
Check out
Thanks again to Ground
groundnews.com
News for their
buddy.
support. And I'll take you back to the story.
On
These
Christmas Day,
consequences, they're
2024.
unintended. Are these consequences in the room with us right now? Listen, bucko, when we make a plan, it will work exactly like we think, and there will be no unintended consequences.
In the Baltic Sea, 4 underwater cables were suddenly damaged. Authorities quickly discovered it happened while a very old oil tanker passed over them. The Eagle S was flagged by the Cook Islands, owned by a company in the UAE, and filled with Russian oil. Finnish police discovered it had dragged its anchor on the seabed for nearly 90 kilometers, damaging the cables. The ship's crew said it was an accident. But it was just one of several undersea cables that had suffered damage while a sketchy vessel passed by. These incidents have led authorities to believe that Russia was using its Shadow Fleet to sabotage and spy
Oopsies.
on NATO countries.
I've spoken to people who are in a position to know that yes, spying equipment has been found on these vessels, and there are now security guards on vessels linked to the former paramilitary group Wagner. So the blurring of commercial and military.
Yes, Wagner is the paramilitary group under the guy, I forget, I'm not bringing out his name, the guy who did a coup against Putin, then stopped halfway through, then rejoined Putin, and then died like a month later in a plane crash. Prigozhin. Yeah. Prigozhin, dude. What a misplay. You're going to half do a coup against Putin and think it's going to be all chill? That's crazy.
paramilitary group Wagner. So the blurring of commercial and military especially has been quite substantial.
Russia is very good at using tactics that fall below the threshold of war, that are easily denied and very hard to prosecute.
When Finland charged the crew of the Eagle S with sabotage, a court dismissed the case, ruling that it didn't have jurisdiction.
Oh, well, there you
Evading
go.
sanctions and staging acts of sabotage was a step too far. Around 2024, the West ramped up sanctions not on countries, but on ships. A lot of ships. At least 1,304 vessels have been sanctioned by at
what if
least
they
one of these
changed their
governments,
name?
which makes them riskier to do business with.
It made the oil harder to sell, meant that the oil producers, they set up a few more sock puppet companies in order to evade those sanctions and to develop the workaround.
Oh my God, it's so ineffective, it's crazy. This idea is so played out, bro. Wow, they had to make more sock puppet companies. They had to call them Angel Kings.
Also forces them to travel longer routes to avoid inspections and transfer their loads more often. But sanctions alone don't stop shadow vessels. So the US and EU pressured flag of convenience states to unflag sanctioned vessels, making them stateless. This was a game changer, because under international law, a ship suspected of being stateless can be boarded.
U.S. forces seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela.
Yeah, and that'll work at first. And then likely the fucking companies will bribe somebody in one of these countries. They'll use the money to bribe somebody to be able to get access to the flag. And then they got it again.
Venezuela.
Special forces rappelling down and then taking control of the tanker.
This problem had been bubbling away for most of 2025 with lots of hand-wringing, let's say, from European governments about what to do. And then bang, you've got the US government come in and say, look, you can seize them because they're stateless. That provided a template to European governments. And so now we're seeing action.
In early 2026, the US, France, and even India seized stateless vessels. Then the US and EU announced sanctions that led some countries to buy less Russian oil. Meanwhile, Ukraine went even further.
Ukrainian sea drones launched their attack on...
This is 50 times more effective than any sanction, what Ukraine is doing. They're just blowing up the actual oil tankers because they are in an open war where Russia's invading their territory. The sea drones are actually working. It is actually making it difficult. The costs of repairs are eating into the profits from the oil.
a pair of oil tankers, part of Russia's so-called shadow fleet.
Ukraine has hammered Russia's Baltic ports, halting some oil exports.
By February 2026, Russian oil revenue was falling, and Iran was selling its oil for bargain prices.
Oh, it was working, bro. It was working, and then someone had to go and fuck it up. Oh, hopefully there's some 6D chess about to happen.
The West was making progress against the shadow fleet, right up until the US and Israel attacked Iran, and Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. While the strait was closed, the price of the oil inside every tanker rose dramatically. But by letting mainly shadow vessels through, Iran made sure it was mainly shadow vessels that could profit from it. In late March, the Kuma and the Hilda 1 sailed east, probably towards China like most Iranian shadow vessels. And after Donald Trump eased sanctions on Iranian and Russian oil at sea, Russian shadow vessels raced towards India. Other countries placed orders too.
Yeah, everyone wants
Now Russia and Iran are again exporting a lot of oil. According to the FT, Russia made more than $150 million a day in extra revenue,
Great.
while Iran likely made more than $140 million a day. All largely thanks to the shadow fleet.
Genius!
They've really got a free pass to ship whatever they can, wherever they can.
While I'm recording this, Iran is still in control of the strait. But after peace negotiations failed, Trump ordered the US Navy to impose its own blockade on the strait to intercept Iranian ships. Meanwhile, European states keep intercepting stateless vessels. But many ships are switching to Russian flags, which makes them harder to seize.
Act of war.
It again leaves the West in search of a strategy. So what else can it do?
if you want to
What about
stop
one more
the
round of
next generation
sanctions?
of dark fleet vessels, then perhaps have a phase out of vessels when they reach 25 years. And there are states like Malaysia, for example, where there are these dark fleet tankers in their economic exclusive zones that are undertaking activities that are contrary to international regulations. They could bring up an enforcement campaign there. There's all sorts of small ways to chip away at the problem, but ultimately it lies with improving regulation at the international level.
While the West struggles to fight the shadow,
I'm sorry, man, but no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's no magic different regulation that is going to change the fact that there is a barrel of oil coming out of the ground in Iran that people want. It's just the demand is global. They all want it. And so there will be solutions found to get that out. And so you have to think of something better, bro. You have to think of something better.
fleet, the war in Iran proved it to be even more useful and more valuable than ever.
All right, thanks so much for watching another episode.
Well, that was a solid video, but I am a little annoyed that the part after the blockade was like 30 seconds. The title implies that there's Shadow Fleet running the blockade right now, and they really just talked about what the Shadow Fleet was for 12 minutes, and then they're like, yeah, also there's a blockade recently, which is a bit unfortunate. The Shadow Fleet's very interesting, which they do instead of sanction. You can sanction like they were doing before, but the reason they were making less money is because the supply of oil was so gargantuan at the same time as people are slowly but surely getting off of oil that they weren't able to, they were selling it for rock bottom prices. So they weren't profiting very much. That's if you limit the supply of oil, it makes their oil 100 times more valuable. You make them tons more money. It's like if your only goal was to destroy the cartels, here's a perfect example. If you're like, we have to destroy the Mexican cartels. If you really want to destroy them, the only way, I'm not saying you should do this, but you would you would put cocaine, you would give Walmart the ability to make cocaine. Okay? You would put it in every store. You would legalize it. If you did that, the cartels would be destroyed in 2 seconds. Okay? The supply of it would cut out no one would want to do business with them. You'd flood the market. Okay? And because oil is not cocaine, that was working. Okay? But the restriction of it is only helping Russia. Wouldn't Walmart buy from them because they have the expertise? Like in a transitionary period for a fucking brief minute. But the corporate machine would outproduce them so quickly. The supply chain they would build would have no need for any of the the cartel experience in like a fucking very short amount of time. You think Walmart stuff would be fire? Nah, I think it'd be stepped on, bro. I think Walmart shit would be fucking, but it'd be cheap. You actually think the Lakers will win a chip, or are you delusional? I'm sorry, wait. Do I actually think it, or am I delusional? So if I think it, I'm not delusional, is what you're asking. Yeah, you're right. I think they're gonna win a chip. I'm not delusional, bro. You've given me a perfect option. I think the Lakers will win a chip. Will it happen in this year? Who knows? But I painted a picture, right? They clutch up this series. Kevin Durant literally murders his team. By the way, I sat so close I could touch Kevin Durant's balding head. I was right behind him. He's fucking insanely tall, sweaty, leaning over, doesn't talk to his teammates. And can I get a picture of Kevin Durant's back of his head? Because it's problematic, bro. I don't have it, but I can tell you, you can literally see the horrendous vibes on this team in real time. We were right behind the Rockets bench. They don't talk to each other. There was one guy on the team, I don't know if it was Reed Shepard who it was, but he was like, hey guys, let's go. He was doing the clap and nobody even looked at him. No, nobody looked. He's like, and then they completely ignored him. They're like on their phones, basically. They were fucking dead vibes, bro. Completely dead vibes. When they were losing, it was horrible. The only time they popped off was when the ref gave them a good call and they had a little bit of a run and they were like trying to get back into it. Once they were losing again, it was like me on a league team back in the day. When we're losing, I'm dead silent. It was horrible, bro. You could tell KD was pissed off. Yeah, all his burner shit was right, bro. We tanked for 5 years for 3 top 3 picks and got nothing, bro. I'm so done. Bro, it's funny is they started their tanking, I think, because they lost to LeBron. And now 5 years later, run from it, hide from it. Now you're losing to LeBron again after this whole fucking ordeal. That shit's so funny. That shit is so funny, bro. I found out my psychiatrist watches Big A, and now all we do is chat about glizzies. This is not good psychiatry. You watching Big A all day and then going to talk to your psychiatrist about glizzies and Big A is... I feel like they need a psychiatrist. You said you're actually serious? No, I believe you. That's not... I'm being serious. 300 an hour to chat glizzies is the dream. You're making weekly payments for something you could join a Minecraft server for? Hey, yo. What can't Minecraft do, dude? It's outcompeted all modern art, and it's also therapy. Therapy? It's incredible. Minecraft is just... It's truly the third place that everyone's been asking for. Did Twin talk about... Don't call me Twin. Unless you tell me to lock in. I do think my favorite piece of new slang is lock in Twin. I've been saying it way too much. I've been saying it way too much, bro. I've been saying lock in Twin when I don't deserve to be saying. It's not that new. I understand it's not that new. I'm always going to be a little behind, you know, because I read books. But I've been saying lock in Twin a lot. And, but I don't like being called Twin in general. And, you were saying, did I watch the... Yeah, I watched Kevin Warsh's little hearing. Look, he's insanely rich. He is coming into a Fed that is ripping apart at its dual mandate level. This is all... I'm saving this. I'll talk about this when Jay Powell has his finale. Jay Powell's finale is coming up, bro. It's like in a few days, and we're going to see what he's going to do. The big Jay Powell... final stand is like, hopefully it's not, wait, when is it actually? Next FOMC meeting. April 28th. Okay. April 28th is next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Jay Powell's last stand. We'll see. I mean, he could be the shadow governor. Speaking of cool shadow things. He could be the shadow governor. We'll find out. Did you ever take out Grubby to game AoE too? Probably not. I'm kind of off the grind right now, and he peaked at 1,700 or something before taking his break. You know, 100 elo points in AoE is a lot. It'd be tough to beat him. He's really good. Any advice for an 18-year-old moving out in 3 months? Are you moving out to go where? Going to college? Are you going to a new city to start a job? Or are you just staying in the same city, but you're getting your own place? These are 3 different situations. Kind of a tough time to be. I mean, if you're doing the last 2, college in San Diego, I don't know, dude. The world's so fucking different. But my advice to you would be, there's going to be some part of your brain that is tempted to sit in your dorm room and play League of Legends. Lean in, bro. It's good. It'll work out. Listen to it. No, my advice would be to go do things. Especially on college, you're going to just join some clubs or something. Meet some people, bro. Get out there. By the way, I did do that. I did that my first year, which thank God I did, because I made some lifelong friends from that. And then sophomore, junior year, I played League of Legends nonstop. I lost some of those friends, bro. But freshman year, I crushed. Freshman year, I really enjoyed my time. I really got out there. I fucking met people, and I still talk to them. They're great. I made lifelong enemies on the Rift. It's kind of your fault in Harris that I got into AoE 2 and I really suck at it. That 4-man Conquerors I did, just take out the first wave of the game. I think we've gotten a lot of people into it, which I'm really happy with. You don't suck at it. I promise you. The game is just kind of hard. But I assume you're finding it fun. Try the campaign. The game's real fun. I mean, everyone starts out bad, but RTSs are hard, man. But they're fun. They're rewarding. With all the crap with AI as of late, what are your thoughts on showing your face online and or making a carrier as a content creator? Interesting question. I can riff on it in a different direction. I think I am happy that I have gone the way I have with my content, because I am noticing when I browse YouTube, there is now just endless faceless slop. There's only a few faceless channels I still trust. The rest of them I do not trust. I click on them and you can just tell, bro. They're all, yeah, Fern Slop or whatever. They're all aping the format of other faceless channels that already existed, but they're generating them out ad infinitum. They just steal the title, thumb, packaging. They generate the shit faceless. The editing is done AI. It just plays stock footage, and it's bad, bro. It's getting bad. So I'm glad, because I'm sort of building a different niche here. It's like, I'm glad we kind of went with a personality channel. You know, like it's serious subjects, but we got people who are there at least partially for the personality. And you have to do that. I have to have a human element to it. Otherwise, there's no way to, you're in an endless there's no way I could generate enough by my own human effort to compete if there wasn't some aspect of like people like my personality or like the way I'd deliver it. You ever been in a fist fight in school or college? Yeah, I have. Been in a couple. Nothing like tough, nothing where I'm cool, but I was in a fight in grade school where I was in the front seat and the guy I was fighting was in the back seat, and we got into a huge argument, and his dad left the car. His dad was gone, and we were just arguing. And then I tried to reach back and hit him, and he wound up and kicked me in the face over and over and over. He was in the back seat. He had the perfect angle on me, and I kept trying to hit him, and I was getting like glancing blows, and he just kept kicking me in the fucking face hard with shoes on. I got completely destroyed. And then his dad came back and it was like, why is Brandon's face so fucked up? And then he had to take me back to my mom and like explain what happened. And my mom was freaking out. So that's like one of the first real hard combat fights I had. Is it between you and your brother? No. Oh my God, no. What about the next one? Well, there's the Spree story. The Spree story is like the best piece of combat I ever did. The Spree story is my fighting peak. But I don't know. I don't think I'll tell it as well as I did in the. If there's a video of it, it's probably better to watch. Please stop calling it combat. You're killing me. I did 2 tours in that parking lot. This is like Fallujah. I was in the console wars fighting for the Nintendo Wii. That's combat. Okay. I was on forums talking about how I liked the Nintendo Wii. And how tough was that? That was fucking difficult. Even the GameCube, bro. That was fucking tough to fight for. I was in the fucking trenches for that. Thank you for your service. You're welcome. And then in college, at the end of college, I got in a huge fight with my roommate over the dishes. And he said, "You'll never fucking make it in esports." And we like shoved each other. Holy shit. Thank you for the holy shit. Salichin, thank you for the 150 gifted. You haven't even spoken in chat in 4 months. Thank you, bro. Do you have a message? Do you have something you want to say? I prefer to read something. Shadow subs. It's because I'm helping Russians export oil. That's a chargeback? Bro, I don't think I've ever been charged back. I don't think I've ever been charged. I'm not even sure how chargebacking would work with Twitch as the middleman anymore. Like, I think Twitch takes the L. You can only get charged back on like PayPal. They might take it out of your check. They might take it out of your check. Credit card company takes the L. Somebody's taking the L. Anyway, thank you for the gifting. That's very nice. Got 3 messages read this stream. That's a good day. See you tomorrow, Big A. I guess for a man named Gliz Maestro, it makes sense. Yeah, your character adds up. You got 4, by the way. Make that 4, big dog. Make that 4. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, Maestro. Hey, you cooked today. Nice job at the factory. Clock out with a bonus. You guys see that Cash Patel stuff? Shit, I got a presentation on that. I guess I'll do it tomorrow. Cash Patel, bro's melting down, bro. Melting down. I was talking about tomorrow. J. Edgar Boozer, that's good. That's good. Remind me about Cash Patel tomorrow. No, I really do got a press. I think I got like 50 slides on it already for Cash. I was reading that Atlantic article and I did a whole Cash Patel deep dive. But then fucking Warcraft 3 almost ruined my life. Here's the thing. I'm so glad I'm not so glad. I really think I feel bad about it, and I'm glad Grubby invited me. And I think Grubby's awesome. But in like 48 hours of thinking I was going to play Warcraft 3, I had already grinded 35 games on the ladder, watched 15 replays. My sleep, I went to bed at 3 a.m. I wasn't able to go live, missed my stream. I showed up to Lemonade Stand tired, Had to do 3 presentations. And, you know, my Ari's family's here. I can't do it all. I can't do it all. I can't do it all. I gotta cut it. All these games fuck up the ear health. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Never do hard drugs. You'd be fucked. As opposed to you, who'd be chill. My weak mental couldn't handle hard drug addiction, but you kind of like, it wouldn't even matter to you. You could easily get on Fent and like tank it. China is not a socialist utopia. I don't want to watch this video because that's like part of what I want to say when I talk about China. Bro's stealing my shit. That's what I want to say. Socialism wouldn't go no glizzy. Thoughts on Mom Donnie's first 100 days? I like him, bro. I like him a lot. I like him. I think he's done a good job. 100 days, not changed much, but he's being serious about the budget. He's being serious about fiscal discipline, but he's still serious about his goals of the things he wants to accomplish. So he's finding ways to do the things he wants without just borrowing money, printing money. And you can't print money, but borrowing money, which I respect. I think that's and if you do those two things and you're not corrupt, even if I disagree on some of the things, the efficacy of some of the things you want, for me, that's a slam dunk. Like the bar is, first of all, in hell. I think that would be solid even if it wasn't. If you're not corrupt and you're trying to get shit done and you're not borrowing money to leave it to the next guy, fuck it. You got voted in, bro. Shoot your shot. Do what you want to do. That should be the baseline, but I think it's really good right now. So I'm gonna give him a Atrioc thumbs up. Is Mom Donnie part of the 9/11 cover up? Yeah, probably. Almost assuredly. Okay. Probably, but I'll give him a pass. 100%. Who isn't at this point? The 9/11 conspiracy goes so fucking deep. Everyone's involved. Everyone's fucking involved, dude. He wanted to make Trump Tower the tallest building. He was 10 years old and already plotting, bro. Can you believe it? Great video on job market. Is this that video that's...
There's something...
Okay. People have been linking me this video. I haven't watched it. Maybe it's great. But if it's a video that's like, hey, the economy looks good in the stock market, but actually the job market's really bad, I don't need to watch a 30-minute video on that because I say it every day of my life for the past 2 years. You know, like, if that is the point of this video, if he's like, there's a K-shaped economy, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that I need to watch that and be like, oh, interesting, good point? Like, is that going to really open my eye, open my third eye on that one? It's a little too validating. Low curculenly. Cape Faith, thank you for the 4 months. We ever present your presentation on Ukraine and robotics? Yes, I promise you I will. Promise you I will. In fact, I'll just show you that it's real. Ukraine. Second PowerPoint. Okay. Look. Well, I don't want to fucking. Oh, quick flash. It's real. It's real. It's real, bro. Fucking real. How many do I have them go at once? I've got, at this point, bro, let me open it up. In the old PowerPoint folder, bro, I probably have 50. I got one on the Chiefs Stadium. I forgot about that one. I did a whole PowerPoint on the Chiefs Stadium. Bro, look, I was breaking down. Wait, look at this. Look at this. I was breaking down fucking neighborhoods around the stadium and their different tax codes. I never fucking. Yeah, I usually grind out the first part real quick, and then I get caught. I get bogged in the last part, and then I don't finish. So I gotta lock in, twin. It gets you over the hump. I used to be pressure, but now now I feel like I don't have a pressure, so I don't know. I gotta fucking. Stevik's got 3. Stevik's got 3 presentations for What's Up Beijing that we gotta finish too. Blame her. Don't blame me. Let's bully Stefan. Let's start with Stefan. If she finishes her 3, I'll finish my 3. How many slides have you done through the years that Unfashioned will never see? Thousands. Dude, I did predictions 2026 this year. That's like a 100-slide presentation. Didn't finish it. Didn't finish it. Show them? No, because they get a lot of them get repurposed. Sometimes whenever I'm like, someone in chat says something and I just launch into something that seems like I'm prepared, it's because I've done a presentation on it in my head. Definitely, I usually find a fucking use for them. And I've already used a bunch of stuff from the predictions. The year of the real and all that. Man, my first slide in the predictions thing is like, I predict that Donald Trump will go to war in Iran and they'll close the Strait of Hormuz, and that oil will go to $200 a barrel. And like, I guess that was right if you really think about it. I guess that's, now that you think about it, that was a pretty good prediction. This dude does PowerPoints for a living. Are you sure you aren't artistic? I did that at NVIDIA too. It's so crazy that I was at NVIDIA largely making PowerPoints, and then I fucking go into the streaming world and end up just doing the same damn thing. Play to your strengths, bro. Play to your strengths. When you got a hammer, everything seems like nails. Is AI just the death of the PowerPoint economy? Dude, I do wish I could see. I would love to be in the same meetings I was in at NVIDIA, but now in a post-AI world. I'm wondering, or like, the thing I'm most interested in is back when I was at Twitch, when Amazon bought it, they made everybody write these 6-pagers, these Amazon 6-pagers. And they were really hard to write. And you had to really put some thought into it. People would like really take it seriously. But now that you can fart those out with fucking GPT, it's got to undermine the whole fucking thing. I really wonder what that's like now. It's got to be all slop. You think more PowerPoints in NVIDIA, Twitch, or as a streamer? Bro, as a streamer for sure. I make one. Dude, some weeks I'm doing like 4 a week for clips. Are you kidding me? I'm definitely doing more. For NVIDIA, you do one big project and you try to like pitch them and get money for it. And it would be, months long. My self-evaluation with some bullet points, then told the slot machine to glaze me. Oh, wait, watch this. I was watching this fucking animation. The level of hatred this person has for ChatGPT, it like reeks through the screen. I like Claude, for example. I use it, but like this is, if you haven't seen this.
Okay, middle schoolers, it's time to write an essay about the book we spent all semester reading.
ChatGPT, write an essay about the book. All done.
ChatGPT, write this essay.
Mom!
What?
Look!
Oh, honey! ChatGPT, how should I feel right now?
Bad.
I hate you, son!
Mr. President, the people are protesting. ChatGPT, generate a movie about I am pooping on the stupid Americans.
That's real.
I hate the stupid Americans.
We're experiencing record-breaking numbers. We're gonna need more power. ChatGPT, how can I make more power?
Unplug something.
Oh.
ChatGPT, I heard to propose to her.
Error.
And ever I could, please try again later.
ChatGPT, how do I tell if he's proposing to me right now and how to do how do I say now?
Error.
Help! What is 1 plus 1?
ChatGPT!
1 plus 1! 1 plus 1!
We cook, chat! Oh, we cook! How do I make the people I don't like disappear? How do I make the people I don't like go away?
ChatGPT! How to fix ChatGPT? How to fix... help! Help! ChatGPT!
So, I don't know. It does feel a little bit, I mean, I think they're good tools, but you just hear more and more people like using it in like situations where you should never use it. Using it for everything, bro. They're asking it. This is a 2010 ass video for sure. It does feel very old. It feels like fucking Newgrounds. It might be a joke, but I genuinely find that more and more people around me can't sit with the discomfort of thinking and just instantly jump to using chat even for simple text. Yeah, I hate you call it chat, but I agree with you. I'm going to be the last person fighting that war. I hate that everybody calls it chat, bro. It pisses me off. Chat, are we cooked? You see the Xbox CEO cutting the price of Game Pass? Bit of a mislead. The new Xbox CEO came in and they did a $7 price cut at the same time as they removed some major franchises like Call of Duty from the Game Pass. And it's because they were losing so much money putting Call of Duty on Game Pass that they cut it out so they could sell it. Now, if you're not a Call of Duty player, I guess it is like $7 cheaper. Nice for you. I don't know what else they removed, but don't they own COD? Yes, they removed COD from Game Pass because selling copies of COD is very profitable and renting copies of COD on Game Pass is not that profitable. So they wanted to make the money back. They have to make some of the money back from the fucking Activision Blizzard purchase. But they knew that just taking it away would be a disaster, especially with a new CEO. So they're doing a price decrease. But you know, it doesn't. You could pick one superpower to give to your worst enemy. What or who would it be? Superpower to your worst enemy? I don't. This is an icebreaker or something. People are saying constant diarrhea. How is that a superpower? A superpower needs to be like something super, something cool. Constant diarrhea is like IBS. That's not. No gravity? Ain't no criminal attacking you while you're shitting everywhere. Try to rob this bank, sir. You'll have to get through wave after wave of diarrhea. Not so enjoyable now, is it? There's something to that. I would give them the ability to read minds. That would suck genuinely. Yeah, it depends on how the mind reading works. If you can if you have to focus for it, it's kind of great because you can use it when you want. But if it's always on, you'll go crazy. If you can't block it, you'll go crazy. Hey, speaking of the superpowers and the boys, it's 9 p.m. I said I'd watch the boys, and I'm going to watch the boys. So thank you for watching this little stream today. I'm glad to be back. If you'd like to watch the boys with me, you have to join the Discord, where I'm going to be watching The Boys Season 5, Episode 2. Right about now. I'd love to do it on stream, but they will ban my ass. They will ban my ass, bro. So, bro is so behind, and we're going to start catching up right here, right now, bro. What do we do, Mr. Wayne, when we get off the horse? That's right. We make a dog shit third movie. Except for the Bane parts. They were pretty cool. Okay, let's jump to it. Amazon Watch the Boys. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with, I'll do at least the Cash Patel presentation tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh, let's rate somebody. Who are we rating? Hair Alive? Is Hair Alive? No. We could rate Box or EE. Let's rate Summoning Salt. How about that? My goat Summoning Salt. Raid Summoning Salt. We just watched his incredible film, I'll call it, about Spyro. All right, guys. See you on the Discord, the ACLU Discord. You can see it right there in Stream Elements if you want to watch The Boys. See you soon. Bye.